from Southern Maryland's weather leader. This is a JB Weather Alert.
Hello and good evening, everyone. I am Forecaster John Bordash with you in the Storm Center here just at 8:30 to give you your 8:30 update on what it is we're looking at. You all know the drill. If you can hear me, let me know when we get too underway. So awesome. You all can hear me. And most times, my little sound panel over here does say that you all can hear me, but you know the one time I don't ask, that's not going to be a thing. So, let's talk about it. We got some heavy snow in parts of the region. Other parts of the region, not so much. Here's the current look at radar. We have some of our snow reports on here. So we have reports, and these are official reports. I know some of you have, actually many of you have sent in your snow totals to me via Twitter at JB_weather, on Instagram at JBweather, or on Facebook, and I definitely appreciate that. Definitely keep those coming in. But official reports right now, we have just about an inch here in Lesby. We have 2 inches on over towards Oakville near Hollywood, and 2 inches in Leonardtown. And we got some reports earlier. Let's back this up a little bit because those will come up. We got a report of an inch on over towards Waldorf. So that's what we're looking at, and about the last hour or so, we've been watching, and you can see it very clearly here on radar right now. We have been watching this very narrow band of heavy snow. This band is what is putting down between 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch an hour, and it hasn't moved much. So those that have gotten under it, and it's been in about this same position here for about the last 2 hours, so those under it so far have been able to pick up a quick 1 to 2 inches of snow roughly out of this, right? So we're looking at this band definitely producing. Now what we're looking at on either side of this, north and west of it, so in this black zone, you're still seeing snow, but it's not nearly as heavy, and it's because of 2 reasons. One, the moist flow off the ocean, off the bay that's coming northwestward. This yellow band acts almost kind of like a barrier. Think of like a metal wire fence, right? So you still got some holes in there, so the moisture is making it northwest of that point, but the core of the moisture is kind of being stopped by this band here, and this is the first of many bands that'll set up over the East Coast over the next couple of hours. So that's one reason you're not looking at as heavy snow in Charles County, northern parts of northern St. Mary's, northern Calvert, Anne Arundel. And the other reason is because a lot of our atmospheric forcing right now, our frontogenesis, where we're looking at the corridor of forcing, is in that yellow band, leading to heavy snow. On either side of that, you're the air's kind of being almost sucked out of the room for you, so you're not getting as much forcing. So northwest of that band, definitely not seeing as much, and also a little bit to the southeast of that band too. So southeast of the band, what you have working in your favor is you have the moisture flow, but that's about it. So your issues there aren't necessarily, and I'm again speaking from the case of a snow lover, your issues there aren't necessarily as bad as northwest areas, but that was kind of expected. Let me take you on over to sensitive radar here. You can see it animating here. This band really has not moved at all. It's been sitting just about the same location here. And actually, what might be a little easier, let me bring you on over to this version of radar. We have several. I circled it for you. Look, I circled where that band's been. It has not moved really at all. It's just kind of sitting there. And if we bring you on over, I actually want to clear this off. Make sure that's turned off. What I want to do is come in here. Let's turn off our precip typing. This allows us to see where that heaviest band is. So that heaviest band is now kind of sunk down to Valley Lead down to about St. George Island. So that band, earlier we measured it at about 7 miles or so, and we're still sitting there. The corridor, the heaviest snow with, generally speaking, where is my... And then generally speaking, that band kind of stretches out about 25-ish miles again, with the heaviest corridor in there about 7 miles wide. So that's what we're looking at right now. With that pushing through. Lighter snow north and west radar, and again, I know this shows us rain, and that's because we're looking at the precipitation rates here. But you see very little north and west of that. So if you're over towards Huntingtown, La Plata, Mechanicsville, you probably saw some decent snow earlier. It likely isn't coming down as hard right now, though. And if we turn this back on, I mean, it's still snowing. The snow just isn't necessarily as hard. That band has now kind of worked its way a little bit further south now, really focusing in southern St. Mary's County. If I bring it back on over here, you can see where that's really focusing. Let's get back over here. So really kind of in here near St. Mary's City. Let's kind of just turn the radar off almost so we can see these areas, right? So we got Callaway, Valley Lee, Piney Point, Tall Timber, St. George Island, St. Mary's City, up here near Park Hall, Dameron, Drayton, Lexington Park, just south of Lexington Park, really, on over towards Pax River. So that's where your corridor, the heaviest snow, sits at the moment. We are going to continue to watch this occur. I mean, let me take you, we have so many different products here, which is a good thing. If we zoom out here, here's what we have going on. Our coastal low is beginning to get its act together right around here, which is about where we thought it was going to go. If I were to put on the ISO bars here, so that tells us where we have low pressure, high pressure. Here we go. And we'll let that load up. So what we're looking at, so this like innermost circle here, right? That's your area low pressure. So let's erase that. Area low pressure is established here. What I want you to notice, and this is important to figuring out if this is going to come west or east, so this is what we're looking at. Do you see how these lines kind of kink northward right there? Kink northward right there. Kink northward right there. That's the atmosphere telling us where our low is going to try to track. So low is here. It's going to generally try to track in that kind of a path, which is very close to what we thought it was going to do this morning, right? So I definitely don't think this is coming any further west. If anything, it might be a hair further east by about 20 miles or so. But an additional thing we have ongoing here that we're going to track is that an additional area low pressure is going to try to form behind it and extend this heaviest band of snow on the northwest side of the precip. So by and large, we have, this band extends from just southeast of Richmond through our region, through Delmarva, across Delaware, into South Jersey, into Central Jersey. That's your band, and it's just going to kind of sit there. This band can't go much further south. The only difference is that it might change in its intensity, but this band isn't going to come much further south, and it's going to have a hard time pivoting northward because of the dry air. So your greatest area of forcing here through about midnight, 1 a.m. is going to remain in this general region. Now, that heaviest narrow 25-mile band will move around in there and change in intensity. So we're not going to continuously see what we're seeing right now, but we will continue to see it. Now, you see the back edge is right here along I-95, and if you're in Southern Maryland, you might be thinking, so the storm's almost over then. It's not really the case. What we're going to see happen, let me bring it on over here to Futurecast. This is from earlier. So we'll let it get to where we are now. So we saw the precip build throughout the day today. Right now we're looking at that heavy snow. It shuts off north and west, but as the coastal low begins to take over, it's going to reintroduce a new moisture fetch across our region, and we're going to hold on to snow through about sunrise. That snow sticks around. So yeah, the outer edge of this is out here. Oh, it's out here along I-95 right now. But I don't think it's going to come much further southeast than that right now. I think we're going to hold on to this for the next couple of hours. Now, let me show you what one of our computer models does here. Let's take all this off. Let me bring you on over here. This is what one of our computer models is doing in terms of snow totals. Let's get you out here. So this would be additional snowfall. And I know there are no numbers on here, which is kind of good. I don't want there to be because then people go a little crazy. So over here where you get these purples, this is where you still have 6 to 10 inches of snow still to fall. Right? And this is what it looks like when I make a snow map too. I need to continuously erase and redraw. So you got 6 to 10 still to fall out here. You're generally looking at about 3 to 6 still to fall through here. So it does clip southern St. Mary's. you generally have about 1 to 3-ish still to fall in this region. These totals really kind of ramp off the further northwest you head. You're going to see the most amount of snow still fall down here. This is where you still have the potential to pick up, let's call it more like an additional 2 to 4 inches, maybe up to 5, potentially. Kind of through this region, I think you still have the potential to pick up, let's call it more like a 2 to 3 and up to 4, potentially. Not much more than that, though. And then you really kind of cut it off here, where this is going to be your additional 1 to 2, and then northwest of there, you're talking generally, and I don't think you can see that all that well, my apologies, generally less than an inch really up there. But we'll see how this all works out. That's just a rough sketch, just to show you that the heaviest snow still is yet to fall up here in northern portions of or the northeast. So let's take you back over here to radar, make things look a little bit better for you, something that makes sense. And yeah, you can see right where you get this heaviest band here, these brightest blues and greens. So this here, where you just get that deeper blue, that's going to be an additional 1/2 inch an hour. And then where you get those greens really setting up right through here, through Cambridge, that's going to be your additional 1 inch an hour. We're even seeing that down here in southern parts of Westmoreland, kind of getting near Tappahannock, just near Warsaw, northwest of Heathsville. So that's what we're looking at right there. Let me take you on over here. So this is your hourly forecast to kind of sum that up for you. Road conditions are deteriorating right now. We are sitting at 8:43 right now, so I think we're right on cue. We were projecting a temperature between 33, 32. We're sitting right around there. Peak of our storm is going to be from about now through about 1, 2, 3 a.m., and that's really going to be for southeastern zones. I think in northwest of Loveville, northwest of Prince Frederick, you've already seen the peak of the storm for you. Southeastern zone, so that's going to be your peak. And then we're going to see things gradually clear up here as we head in after midnight, as we get close to 5, 7, 9 a.m. In terms of I think up next is alerts. We know that snow totals. So when you add what's already fallen plus what's yet to come, I think this is actually going to work out pretty well. Many spots have already verified the bottom end of these ranges. So I've gotten a 1-inch report of snow from Waldorf earlier today. We've seen those 2-inch reports come in from St. Leonard, 3-inch reports coming in from California and on over towards Leonardtown. So I think we're pretty much on cue to meet at least the minimum range in these forecasts. Good, northwest of Prince Frederick, northwest of Loveville, you might add on an additional inch, but not much more than that. Southeast of there, you might add on an additional 1 to 3, maybe up to 4 inches. And the spot that is the most upward potential would be far southern St. Mary's County, Scotland Ridge, St. Mary City, St. Indigo's, Dameron, Park Hall, Drayton. That general region, you might be able to pick up, between like another 3 to 5 inches. I would probably bet more on 3, but maybe up to 5 for you. But I think this is going to work out real nice for us. Winds going to become an issue. So far, let me take a look at our latest gust reports. They right now, we're not, Pax River isn't even recording a wind gust right now. So that's how that's sitting. What I do want to do though is actually bring it on over here to some of our traffic cameras. And this is going to be over here in California. You can see the snow. It's coming down a little sideways, suggesting we're looking at some gustier winds. And we see that accumulation down here on the grassy surfaces. Roadways look just wet right now as these cars go by. But slick spots are going to be possible as these temperatures continue to fall. Let's take a look at some of our other traffic cameras. See what it is we're looking at. Oh, we just zoomed all the way. And let's see what we got going on in Great Mills. This should be a spot we're looking at a decent amount of snow. Yeah. You can see in the light there, we got some snow coming down. Nothing on our roadways, though, but we do have a nice fresh coating of snow here on our grassy surfaces. Up here in Leonardtown, yeah, you can see the snow. It's falling. It looks nice. This is a nice background screensaver for you. Still looking at wet roadways, granted, beginning to become a little slushy and slick, and then we have some snow accumulating on our grassy surfaces. And then if we were to just come northward, you're not going to find much. Let's come up here towards Brandywine. Yeah, up here in Brandywine, you don't even really see that much snow falling at the moment. Maybe some light flurries. But yeah, you don't even have much accumulation on the road right there. So that's kind of what we're taking a look at how things stand right now with this. As we move forward again, your heaviest snow south and east from right around now through tomorrow morning. Snow-covered roadways are likely. And then tomorrow morning, it's going to be feeling quite chilly. By about 9, 10, 11 a.m., those feels like temperatures are going to be down in those single digits. So gonna want to bundle up. It's gonna be cold out there as you gotta remove snow. So you're gonna want, that layered coat. You're gonna want those mittens on. You're gonna want the ear warmers, right? You're gonna want to make sure you're all good to go with that. So that's kind of how things are sitting right now. Let me come back over here because this what we're seeing on radar right now is actually demonstrating very well what I was just telling you. So like we were saying, you have this heavier band. Again, this is not like normal radar, right? So this is just looking at pure how heavy is the precipitation falling. Your heaviest band's right here. And we said northwest of where this band sets up, again, just to the northwest, you're going to be looking at less of a moisture flow, and you're going to be looking at limited forcing in the atmosphere that helps to bring down heavier snow rates, right? And what do we have here? Where I'm circling. Yeah, you're seeing a little break in the activity over Leonardtown right now on radar. It's still snowing. If we put that, it's still snowing. But again, just northwest, you see that up here too. Just northwest of these bands is where you get lighter snowfall rates. And you could see, look at this, Willows. You're not looking at much, where just offshore, you got that heavier band. And that always tends to happen with these systems. And where you get these darker blue bands, that's generally between about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch an hour falling. And then in these green zones, that's generally about 1 inch an hour or so. And we will continue to watch that as this kind of all works through for us. I know radar's crazy. It just has to render. But yeah, look how temperatures have come down under this band. 33 Pax River, 32 Leonardtown. So we're going to keep that snow around. We're going to continue watching what's going on. No new snow reports just yet. Still reporting between about 1 inch up north and then 1 inch to 2 inches down south. So I think we're, I think we're looking real good with this forecast. I think we're we're well on our way to having this verify, and I don't think this storm's coming any further west than we thought, and I think, this is all kind of playing out as we thought it would. So stay tuned. I'll continue to keep you updated. Of course, updates are going to be on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff, and we'll continue to watch this. So stay tuned. Of course, where else would you go for Southern Maryland weather but JB weather? And I'll continue to keep you updated. In the meantime, stay warm and keep it tuned right here for the latest.
Check the forecast anytime online at jbweather.net.